There's a question that has followed humanity across every era, every century. What are we actually capable of? I found myself sitting with that question after reading Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins, a book that isn't just about motivation, but about how to take control of your life and awaken your inner giant. And once I understood what that really meant, everything shifted. I'll be honest, when I first picked up this book, I expected a collection of motivational catchphrases, something loud and surface level. That's the reputation that sometimes precedes Tony Robbins, and I wasn't sure I was ready for hundreds of pages of hype. What I found instead was a deeply structured system for understanding the human mind. Robbins draws from psychology, philosophy, neuro-linguistic programming, and decades of working directly with people who were stuck, not just struggling, but genuinely paralyzed by their own patterns. And he asks a disarming question from the very beginning. Why do some people take control of their life and others don't, even when both have access to the same opportunities? That question stayed with me, because it's not really about talent or circumstance. It's about the internal framework we've built around ourselves, the beliefs, the stories, the invisible rules that quietly govern every decision we make. Tony Robbins' motivation, I realized, isn't about getting hyped. It's about dismantling what's been holding you down. The first idea that truly landed for me was Robbins' concept of the forces that drive us all: pain and pleasure. At first, it sounds obvious. Of course, we move toward what feels good and away from what hurts. But what I hadn't fully realized is how deeply conditioned those associations are. Robbins explains that most of us have unconsciously trained ourselves to associate pain with the very things that would help us grow. Stepping outside our comfort zone, having difficult conversations, taking risks. And at the same time, we've linked pleasure to what keeps us stuck, staying comfortable, avoiding uncertainty, choosing what's easy. What struck me was realizing this isn't a personal flaw, it's programming. And if it's been programmed, it can be rewritten. From there, the book moves into something even more personal: limiting beliefs. And this is where I felt the message become uncomfortably real, because these aren't just abstract ideas. They're the quiet statements we repeat to ourselves without noticing. Robbins challenges the idea that these beliefs are facts. Instead, he reframes them as interpretations, stories we formed, often years ago, in moments of pain, confusion, or failure. And over time, those stories became something we stopped questioning. What I found powerful was the shift from trying to fight these beliefs to actually examining them, asking, where did this come from? Is it absolutely true? And more importantly, what would I need to believe instead? That's where empowering beliefs come in. Not empty affirmations, but deliberate choices. Rewriting the narrative in a way that supports growth instead of restricting it. And what made this feel practical, not just philosophical, was the emphasis on evidence. Finding real moments in your life that contradict the old belief. Another idea that stayed with me was how deeply identity shapes behavior. Robbins makes it clear that lasting self-improvement doesn't come from forcing new habits. It comes from redefining who you believe you are, because behavior always follows identity. If you see yourself as someone who lacks discipline, your actions will reflect that. If you see yourself as someone who follows through, even imperfectly, your behavior starts to align with that identity. And that shift, subtle but powerful, is what begins to create your destiny over time. This connects to what Robbins calls raising your standards. And for me, this felt like the emotional core of the book. It's not about motivation in the way we usually think of it. It's not about waiting to feel ready or inspired. It's about making a decision, a clear internal line, about what you will and will not accept from yourself moving forward. And once that decision is made, something interesting happens. The pain of not living up to your own standards starts to outweigh the discomfort of taking action. The balance shifts, and what once felt difficult begins to feel necessary. There's also a quieter message woven through the book, one that I didn't expect. That personal development isn't a destination. It's a relationship. a continuous process of noticing, adjusting, growing, and recommitting. Robbins doesn't present awakening your inner giant as a single breakthrough moment. It's not one decision that changes everything overnight. It's a series of small, aligned decisions, repeated consistently, that gradually reshape how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. And that idea stayed with me long after I finished the book. After sitting with these ideas, I keep coming back to one image Robbins uses: the rudder of a ship. A small mechanism that quietly determines direction. The ship doesn't stop. It doesn't dramatically change course in an instant. It shifts slightly, and over time, that small shift leads to an entirely different destination. That, to me, is the real promise of this book. Not instant transformation, not a dramatic overnight change, but a steady, intentional shift in how you think, what you believe, and how you choose to show up in your own life. If even a part of this message resonates with you, the impact can extend far beyond just productivity or goals. It shows up in how you handle setbacks, how you approach opportunities, how you relate to yourself and others. The success psychology at the heart of this book isn't reserved for high performers or people in the spotlight. It's something much more accessible. Once you begin to see that the giant Robbins talks about isn't something you need to become, it's something you need to remember. And maybe that's the real invitation here. Not to build a new version of yourself from scratch, but to remove what's been holding you back, layer by layer, until what's already there can finally emerge. If that idea stayed with you even for a moment, then Awaken the Giant Within might be a book worth exploring more deeply. If this resonated with you, hit like and subscribe to Well-Read Club. We break down the world's most powerful books so you can think deeper, live wider, and keep growing.